What's up guys, and welcome back to another EVE Online video. Today we're about to launch and anchor a Metenox Moon Drill in our wormhole. And basically I just thought I'd record doing that, like getting it anchored so that we can go through together how that process goes, how it looks, and then of course activating the drill as well, and so we can share that. So we'll be doing that shortly, so stick around. But what we're getting started with, of course, is figuring out which moon is the best moon to put it on. So I'm out here at the moment just probing moons, and so I thought maybe I just a lot of you, I imagine, haven't done this before, so let's do a couple of quick examples of doing that. So I'm just going to keep going, and I'm onto this one. You can go to anywhere around the moon, but I like to go specifically to the mining point.
Warp drive active.
Primarily because you get to land like right in the perfect location. What do you need to be able to do this? Basically, you need a survey probe launcher, which is this. Just take one. It is absolutely fine. So survey probe launcher and survey probes. These come in 3 different flavors: Discovery, Gaze, and Quest. The only real difference is the travel time. So if you go to attributes, there's maximum flight time here. The Gaze is the fastest. Discovery, I think, is the longest, 5 minutes. And basically what that does is it affects the amount of time it takes until you get your reading. So we've landed on the moon. If you align to it to make sure your ship is facing the moon, doesn't have to be exact as long as you're kind of facing somewhere, and then launch the probe, you'll get your timer come up, and that's how long it's going to take for it to travel to the moon. You know, with the longer travel time ones, you could sit further off, I think, and have them travel further, and such. But yeah, basically there's then just a countdown for this particular probe, a maximum of 150 seconds, and then you get your report, which we'll go through in just a sec. This is one I did previously, but we want to see Moon 11, so when that lands, we'll have a look at what you can see. It's pretty simple stuff. Basically just the composition of the materials on the moon. Now, JSpace these days, a few years ago, they removed any good moons from JSpace, so now you can only get R4 moons, which are the equivalent to HiSec. So return on investment on putting a Metenox Moon Drill down is going to be pretty low, but it's a new item, so we want to do it. That's primarily the reason we're doing this. Alright, as the probe lands, we get our report, Moon 11. So there's two moon materials on here, coesite and zeolites, with a distribution of 71% coesite and 29% zeolites. And if you need to understand what they're producing, obviously you can just go into the industry tab, and you'll see you get silicates out of coesite and atmospheric gases out of zeolites. You don't have to sit and wait for the probes to do their thing. What you can do, which I'll quickly demonstrate, is warp to one moon.
Warp drive active.
When you land, obviously align and launch, which we'll do. Here's our moon. Align. You can when you launch the probe, by the way, you can very briefly see it jump out the ship. So once I decloak, let's look at that. Align and launch. There it goes. And then just move on to the next one. That's now flying to the moon. You can move on to the next while that happens, and you'll still get the report. So we'll head to Moon 13 now. 11, 12, Moon 13. We're already aligned to it, so just do that. Launch. We're much closer to this one. Sorry, no, that one. And then just keep moving on. Moon 14. And so on. So I've just got to do this for the rest
Warp
of our
drive
system.
active.
Pick up all the material moon compositions, and then work out which is the optimal for us to drop our drill on. The nice thing as well is you can copy all these reports, stack up in one place, and you can then just copy and paste them into a spreadsheet so that you can hold on to the reports forever. So yeah, we'll watch as this one comes in, and then when that report lands, to demonstrate that that was possible, we'll then move to anchoring the moon drill. There it is. So anchoring the moon drill it is. Okay, so we're in warp to our appropriate moon. I've warped to the moon mining point again, although this time to within 20. And I'm in my squall, which is obviously one of the new Upwell haulers. Looks great, and the reason I'm in that is because it's got its infrastructure hold, so it's designed exactly for this. We have the moon drill, and we've got some fuel and the magmatic gas so that we can online it. And so let's get anchoring. This is the first time I've anchored anything, so bear with me if there's a little bit of uncertainty as we go along, but I just wanted to share going through this process because I've not been able to find anything, literally anything online about anchoring this drill, and how you do it and what direction it's got to face, so we're going to go through that together because I want to share. You don't need any skills to be able to anchor, which is quite cool. Like if you want to build the drill, you need anchoring 5 and then outpost construction 1. But to anchor it, you don't need any skills. And just so you can see, I have anchoring 0 on this toon. So I'm just going to anchor it. I believe it functions in the same way as other uphill structures. So you can right click on the drill and go launch for corporation, and you get this nice big structure. Now because it launches kind of pointing this way to the moon, I'm assuming that the drill goes here. I don't know that for sure, like it could of course go in there, but I'm assuming the drill goes in there. Other things to mention is this is all you need. You just need the drill to get it anchored. The core and the moon drill are both built into the blueprint and the construction materials. So if you go required input materials, see this integrated moon drill armature, that's the core, and you need to use that to actually build the drill itself. So that's then put in automatically when you anchor it, and then also the drill itself is part of the core, and so will also automatically fill the 1 service slot when you anchor, and it's not possible to remove it. So all you need is this once it's built, or you go buy one of these from market and you're good to go. That's everything. Now, where do we want to put it? Obviously we want it facing a moon. You move the structure around just by dragging it with the left mouse button, and it needs to be, if I zoom out, you see this blue bubble. It's a 200, that's a 250 kilometer radius sphere. As long as it's somewhere in there, you're okay, but it can't be too close to your ship. So we will move it forward a touch, I think, and then I'm gonna, it's weird that when you first deploy it, it's not pointing directly at the moon, which means I'm not confident about where the drill is going to be. So we'll try it, we'll see if it anchors in here, but if not, we may need to reposition it. So I'm going to rotate it with the right mouse button so that it's pointing actually at the moon. Let's do something like that. Nope. Maybe something like that. Probably close enough. And so now that that's positioned how I think it's going to work, let's give it a go. Let's hit position. Before you anchor a structure, you will need to position it and then set the reinforcement time and day. We've got to name it. So yes, as you might have guessed from the name of the corporation, disaster area, We like to keep everything Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy themed. So I've gone with the Total Perspective Vortex, which is a torture device from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So, Total Perspective Vortex, we've got our reinforcement timer. We're going to hit anchor. Once the structure has been anchored, you will not be able to change its location or rotation. Okay. Once anchored, the structure will have a 24-hour... Okay. So it looks like it's functioning the same as any other upwell structure. And it has rotated itself. So I rotated it in the wrong position, but it's corrected that and doesn't matter. So the center point is the drill. The rotation just doesn't matter, so that's cool. So that's now anchoring. 44 minutes until deployed. They need to update that tooltip then. But so I guess we'll check back in 44 minutes. So interestingly, it's not appearing in the overviews yet. So presumably it has its own overview setting that we'll need to go and find. But it does now appear in the structure list drop down in space with a brand new icon. So that's pretty cool. And it sounds like it is building itself visibly
active.
in this 44-minute period. So we're going to go back and have a look at that real quick. There we go. It's starting, so now we can look at it. See the progress being made. Very cool. What have we got left? Oh, it no longer says how long we have. Oh, click on it. And 36 minutes. Alright, so we've got about a minute to go to finish anchoring. We can see, or we could see, there was just a little bit of work happening in there, but it's really, really close. So 55 seconds. Don't know whether to go cinematic or not. I don't think anything particularly special will happen until we fire it, which is what I want to get. So let's go this way round first. I don't really understand why they give us the ability to rotate the structure. They should probably fix that. Completely unnecessary. But anyway, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Deploying. Online. Those should be max health, and now we're vulnerable, low power. So I need to board structure. I will do that in a second. Right. There's a cargo deposit. How do I get the fuel in here? Open moon material bay, that's fine. Open moon drill details. Open cargo deposit. So let's just put a bit of fuel in there. And I guess the magmatic gas. See what happens. Okay, so they were moved to the fuel bay. They need to work on the naming. So the Upwell cargo deposit was the fuel bay. Is there any way to know what's currently in there then? So if I go open cargo deposit now, it's empty. Open moon drill details. We've got 2 months worth of fuel because it's going to consume 5 an hour. We've got exactly 1 day worth of magmatic gas, which we knew. That's 1,320 units per day. That's fixed. Drill status is currently stopped. This is what we will get per cycle, it estimates. So what's that? 1.4 million per cycle. How long's a cycle? Not clear. This is, as mentioned, this is J-space. It's an R4 moon, so they're pretty worthless. Okay, so that's the moon drill details. Next question, how do I activate it? Let's try boarding the structure. Yes. Okay, so I've boarded the structure. Okay, so once you've boarded the structure, you can open the fitting window where you'll have the moon drill in the services. You need to put online, so that's now on. So that's a good start. So now the moon drill is online. Was there anything visible there? No. So let's now, if I leave, is there any way to fire boards? It's got to be boarding structure, right? Open moon drill details. Anything in here? No. Let's get back in. Okay, we just got the notification. It's now running at full power. So that's good. A bit late, but that's good. Does that change anything? Oh man. Let's try open moon drill details again. Drill status operational. Oh, so is it just running? No graphics. So I didn't need to fire it by the looks of things. It's consumed a bunch of fuel onlining it, and it's now operational and will generate an output in 57 minutes. So each cycle is 1 hour, and we're going to earn 1.4 million an hour, I guess. We have some moving parts. I was really hoping a big old mining laser would come out. Let's see if that happens. Moving parts on the back as well. That's very nice. Well, I'm just going to chill here and wait to see if anything happens. And so I'll let you know when I do and where it is in the cycle. So nothing else interesting happened with the animation. No giant laser beam coming out, which was really hoping there was. So I mean, the animation still looks really cool. The animations are still excellent. All these moving parts. You got things inside rotating, things on this side moving around. It's all very very cool. But no giant mining laser like from the moon drills on the Athanor. So let's see how we've been doing over the course of the day. How far through the cycle are we at this stage? Nearly finished. It's probably, what's that, 55 per hour, so there's 2 cycles left, and we've got just 31 million out of it, which I think is what we were expecting. But for a completely passive activity, 31 million a day, we just need to make sure the magmatic gas allows it to be worthwhile. So I'm going to scoop these from the moon minerals hangar, take them back to station, and that's all there is to it. That's the structure. When things have settled down on the market a bit, when these are in more prevalent use over the coming weeks, I'll probably do another video analysing how worthwhile they are, especially in J-space when you've only got R4 moons. But yeah, that's going to wait a few weeks while magmatic gas and everything hits the market and all that
Warp
kind of good
drive
stuff.
active.
But anyway, thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you found this interesting, because I've not been able to find anything on getting these anchored. Thanks for sticking with me while we learn together, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers.